center college, and no other way to describe it. In other words, 56 to indicative.
Done. Their defense couldn't stop Pulaski County's offense, and the result was a running clock way early in that one, and thank goodness for a running clock last week because that one got ugly quick.
Yes. So we saw them play a very tough, close game. The first game of the season against Beechwood came out on a short end stick, 28-27. They win big last week. Now they take on a George Rogers Clark team who is 2-0 on the season, and they beat Central Hardin 38-6, and a wild affair you typically don't see with Belfry, but a final score of 43-35 against Belfry last week.
Yeah, I don't know the last time I remember seeing somebody hang 40-some on Belfry. I'm sure it's happened recently. I just don't recall it. But again, that's 40-plus a game that's being averaged by George Rogers Clark. So that says enough to me about their offense. Against two pretty good football teams, they're putting up close to 40 a game. They'll show up tonight, and we'll get into our keys and all of our other good stuff here in a few minutes. But my key tonight is going to show up.
Yes, you're exactly right. I mean, you got from George Rogers Clark. We'll talk about some numbers and what they have done so far this year. They're going to have some speed. They will line up and punch you in the mouth. They will utilize the speed, get to the outside where they can. I'm sure they've watched game film like everybody has. They're going to try to take away Kaysen in the running game and Idlewild, and try to take Denmeyer away and make Zach look someplace else. But there's going to be some adjustments that need to be made. So with all that said, we're going to step out here just for socials. They're going to have a moment of silence.
More mindful of her spending, which is something that we want to teach her, is to be a mindful spender and to save as much as she can.
It's a great time to get your new F-150 at Alton Blakely Ford. The Ford F-150 redefines working remotely. There's a desk inside the cab, a tailgate work surface out back, and available Pro Power onboard to plug in what you need. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. And right now, get a no-charge leather package upgrade on every purchase of an F-150 XLT at Alton Blakely Ford.
Out here in the real world, we've spent too much time waiting around and wondering if we'll ever get to be what we really want to be. Now it's time to move forward, and with a little help from Somerset Community College, you can finish that degree or start a whole new life as an IT VIP, a healthcare hero, and more in less time and for less money than you think. The time is now. The place is here. Never underestimate you.
Let us show you the strength that comes by making every moment count. We're here to help. Hospice of Lake Cumberland. Let us show you the strength that comes by making every moment count. We're here to help. Hospice of Lake Cumberland.
Planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed people pulling together. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we've been successfully selling the country since 1965. Ford Brothers Auctioneers. Give us a call or visit us online at FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
Let us show you the strength that comes by making every moment count. We're here to help. Hospice of Lake Cumberland. Let us show you the strength that comes by making every moment count. We're here to help. Hospice of Lake
Best
Cumberland.
things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag. Back and better than ever. Just $5.99. Mix and match any two full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or breaded chicken tender wrap. Any two plus fries and a drink, all just $5.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck.
And welcome back. You are looking live at Pulaski High School football field as the Maroons finish their warm-ups here on the right. And George Rogers Clark back in the locker room will be out here shortly. We're about 20 minutes away from kickoff time. And before we left, we were getting ready to get into what we felt like to be the keys of the game. Talked a little bit about this. And Mike, George Rogers Clark comes in 2 games.
To the line that could take a game and milk the clock and own the clock. And I'm anxious to see tonight. My big key to the game obviously is turnover, and the fact that Pulaski made some turnovers and at the wrong time. I mean, they fumbled going into the end zone. It doesn't happen. But the key is, can this offense impose their will? And let's see whether that plays out, and that'll be my whitest cabinet to the game.
I like it. Need new cabinets? The key is whitest cabinets. Gunner, Colton. We've seen Gunner Lovelace have 2 very good games tackling-wise. Ethan Idlewind and strong linebacker. And that's your Cohen Finley and Kason Brock. Again, and a defense that held a prolific Beechwood passing attack, 4th best quarterback in the state, kind of held them in check a little bit. As we mentioned, dominated a Danville team. So this is the game that I'm pointing to, that if they, for 3 weeks in a row, they are able to affect the offense and kind of control the running game, control the passing game, then I'm going to give them a little more credit, and you're going to have a pretty good team going forward.
Yeah, and this is a 6A football team you're bringing in here tonight, too. And so let's not lose sight of the fact that George Rogers Clark is a really good football program. They're a really good athletic program. There, you got to drive through and just look at the facilities at that place. They're unbelievable. But they take their sports very seriously. Coach, I think Terry East is still the AD up there, if I'm not mistaken. And they're coming down here with every intention to ruin the home opener for Coach Burns. And if you're the Pulaski football team, want to do, and that's lose the home opener for your new head coach. So we'll see how that plays out. Again, the midgets are being introduced down below us along with some of the cheerleaders and stuff. And
that's your future.
If you want to forward the clock 5 or 6 years, guys, there it is. That's the future of this organization right there. And I think it was his. I know that.
Weichert Realtors, 4 brothers, a person you can trust when you're looking to sell your farm or commercial property. CV's experience as a successful realtor, business person, and farmer is invaluable when it comes to knowing how to get the most for your property, all the while helping you through a seamless and enjoyable transaction. For more information, give CV a call at 606-219-3274. That's CV Hansford at Weichert Realtors, 4 brothers. We mentioned looking out here on the field as both teams were warming up. There was nobody in street clothes. Everybody was in uniform and ready to go. So the injury report is going to be real short. I'll take care of it tonight. No injuries. Dr. Jesse Pace and Dr. Patrick Jenkins of Lake Cumberland Orthopedics. Sports medicine for athletes of all levels, from the weekend warrior to the professional.
Clark brings in a kid that can play, but Zach deserves some credit, and Pulaski County's got a running back that deserves all the platitudes. He's only carried the ball about 20 times in 2 games. Most of the running backs that are leading the state are getting 25 carries a game, and he's one of the leading receivers in 5A football. But, I digress. I just say tonight, you got to come out. You got to play like you mean it. You got to play like this game means something. And people say, why does it mean anything? Well, I'll tell you what it means. It means you get your first win at home, but it also means you get a win over a 6A team. Somebody says, does that matter?
RPI.
I said, well, in a couple of weeks, you're going to play Madison Central.
RPI.
That's another 6A. Exactly right. Come into the season, and all of a sudden you're looking around, and they're going to say, well, why does this school get a better RPI than the other school? And it comes down to you're playing 6A schools and playing, against teams that on paper you shouldn't win. And so I look forward to this. I think Pulaski County they're hard to read right now because they're up all the time.
Right.
I mean, when you're around this coaching staff right now, they're up.
Gotta love it.
Well, yeah, and the players, they seem to be bought in.
You know, talking about giving Zach some credit, he's 20 for 27 on the season. And 2 of those incompletions were at the end of the first half against Beechwood.
Yep.
That, thinking back, and I'm not trying to bring up bad memories here, but the pass right before that was about a 45-yard strike.
Yes.
That he got obliterated as he stood in pocket as long as he could. They had a blitzing cornerback, and he teed off on Zach, and Zach threw a strike. It got dropped. The very next play, he was trying to force one into Ethan, and it underthrown a little bit, gets intercepted. That's one of his incompletions. At the end of the game, they're trying to come back and get something. He throws the ball up into coverage. Beechwood's got 5-6 guys back, and he gets intercepted, so that's 2. So if you take those 2 away, he's 20 for 25. Now,
that's 80%.
Right. With 410 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, he's averaging 205 a game. He's also has rushed the ball a little bit more than we have seen, 4 times for 29 yards. But when you have an offensive line that is keeping him clean, doesn't have a whole lot of pressure on him, you've got a running game that defenses have to try to stop. It allows you to have a little more time and to be a little more successful.
See, I'm going to trust you tonight because you, when they break huddle, unlike a lot of broadcasters I listen to, you go ahead and call formation. You tell where people are and the sets and all that stuff. And that gives me a chance to sit here and kind of be lazy and listen to you describe what's going on, because they will be in some sets tonight that we've not seen.
Right.
Week 1, I wouldn't have said that when they started coming out into some of the unbalanced stuff that they did. And I'm sitting there going, they are unbalanced right now, you know. And this is week 1, but I love for them to come out. I still think you'll see some 2-back set.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see Idlewind see some more carries, but you'll see him as the lead man in this offense a little bit. And George Rogers Clark, I'm sure, you know, these guys, they get paid to do this. They understand what's going on. But I think this will be a dandy, and if you're not here, I strongly advise, you know, come on out. You still got a lot of time to get here. If not, we're live. And if anybody tries to charge you or anything for any Windows reviews or anything, this is all part of our sponsors. This is 4K, as good a quality as you're going to get as far as of the video. And you're welcome to sit back and enjoy it with us, because we're just a few minutes away from getting this one started. And it seems like the pregame show has gone on forever. Is this a Super Bowl or something?
It may be. They've got a lot of stuff going on now. It's a home opener, Mike.
Well, there's 200 kids on the field right now.
It's the junior night, so you've got all of the future Maroons out here on the field. Going to have the sign for the team to run out, but yeah, we're still about 6 minutes away, and we don't even have captains on the field yet to do a coin toss. So.
And I did notice we have a 5-man crew, which sort of surprised. I don't know that you're going to find too many bigger games around the state than this one, and a lot of times they're assigning 7-man crews to some of the more important games, and I am very surprised to see a 5-man crew. Not that they're not going to do a good job, and I'm not going there. I'm just saying I was surprised to see only a 5-man crew.
Yeah, you're right. So we'll see what they bring out. I noticed some
strange things.
Well, no, but you're right. That's what it is. There's only 5 out there. You know, George Rogers Clark comes in, like I said, 2-0 on the season, beat a very good Bellevue team in a high-scoring affair. And I mean, we expect them to come out with J.D. Maston at quarterback. He's 17 for 31 on the season, about 186 yards a game with 4 touchdowns. He also is one of the leading rushers on the team. He's rushed it for 13 times. So whether he's pulling it down from the quarterback spot and running it, or they're running their option type of play with him, but he's your 3rd leading rusher. Zayden Turner will get the most of the carries out of the backfield. He's got 219 yards and 2 touchdowns, so he's averaging over 100 a game. And then the receiver, you have a young man in Camden McAlpin who hasn't caught a ton of balls, but he's got 100 yards and 1 touchdown. So the thing that I see when I look at their stats and their roster is there's not really one person that you can just lock in and say, hey, this is their guy. They've got 7 receivers that have caught at least one pass, and all but one have caught multiple passes.
The captains are lining up, and it looks like George Rogers is going to send out about half their team as captains. I'm not going to try to give you all of them, but I see Finley and
Bryson Brown
and Idlewind,
Ethan and Zach.
And Zach Anderson for Pulaski County. The cost of the coin. Did I say that? The toss of the coin used to be a given around this place. This year, if Pulaski wins the coin toss, I'll just change it to where I don't have to put those words together. They're going to take football.
They are 2-0 on the season, winning the coin toss. And as you said, Coach Burns has directed his captains to take the ball. So they have opened the game on offense in both of their first 2 games and looked really good on their opening drive in both games.
Yeah, again, and I'm anxious to get this one started. I hope you all will bear with me. I think you can sense the anxiousness because I sort of know what kind of importance this game has to this football team. And Pulaski County, they're at home. They have played one really good football game, and then you got to throw the Danville game out. That was an outlier. They took care of business. I saw it deferred.
And Pulaski is going to open up the game with the ball for the 3rd time because George Rogers Clark did win the toss and deferred. And Pulaski will receive, and they will be coming out of the south end zone towards the field house. If you're familiar with the field, the setup here, beautiful stadium, by the way. If you've not been to Pulaski High School in the new turf field and the new lights, I mean, it really is a beautiful place to play a high school football game. And there's, as I looked across the field a second ago, the flags were not moving, so there's no wind to speak of. The game time temperature is going to be right around 83, 82 degrees. It's going to go down a little bit by game time with some chance of rain, possibly into the 3rd and 4th quarter.
We got lucky last week. There were some delays both in the Somerset. Well, Southwestern didn't play last week. The Somerset game had a couple of rain delays, and we got lucky in Danville. We did not have one. Let's just hold out for tonight being as lucky because there are rules about sporting events in Kentucky High School that involve weather, and they are followed. They will not be tell a friend to tell a friend.
We want to thank Toyota of Somerset, our title sponsor this evening, and Ford Brothers Auctioneers, our presenting sponsor, for bringing us high school football here tonight from Pulaski as they get set to come out on the field. Interest Healthcare Counseling Services has made it their mission to be the trusted leader in promoting mental health in Kentucky for the last 25 years. We personalize your services to meet your needs, whether that be in our office, over the phone, or on your computer. Call Interest at 606-676-0638 to get services started today from anywhere in Kentucky. You can always visit their Facebook page at Interest Healthcare Counseling Services to learn more about how they can help you or your family today. At Interest, your mental health matters. And the Maroons coming onto the field, Mike, with that big tunnel of the youth players and cheerleaders. And we are about a minute away, and this looks to be, I'm very looking forward to this game.
I certainly am, and we're glad to have Jeremiah on the camera and Pat on the buttons. And I'm going to let you do all the work. I'm going to sit back and watch some of this. The crowd has started to roll in. There was a few minutes ago I was going to say something like I am severely disappointed, but I think they were tailgating all over the place.
I think they
what
were.
happened.
I think that's the case.
Because in about 5 minutes, this place went from not a whole lot of people to full. So if you were tailgating and you're listening or watching us and you didn't send anything to the booth, I'm going to forgive you once. You could make up for it right now if you really wanted to, but for all y'all that did come out and tailgate, quite an atmosphere, isn't it?
It really is. And Pulaski in the home maroon jerseys with the white pants, the silver helmet. George Rogers Clark comes in the traveling uniform. White jerseys with red numerals and numbers, or numerals and numbers are the same thing, numerals and name, and black pants with the red stripe and the black helmet. So
my partner is ready to go.
And we are just about set. Hayden Cockrell will put his foot to the ball. Winston Ford stands at his 5-yard line, ready to receive the kick, and we are underway. It is a low line drive kick that is bobbled and picked up back at about the 18-yard line back there by Denmeyer, but he had his knee on the ground, and so that's where the Maroons will start their first drive of the evening.
Well, we see the line drive kickoff worked, but they kicked it to the wrong man as far as I'm concerned. They just got away with it.
Yeah, you kick that to Denmeyer with the space and the speed that he has.
Yep.
There's probably bad things going to happen for
What is it my partner says? Bad mojo.
Bad mojo. And so the Maroons will come out in a tight set. Godby and Denmeyer split wide to the right. Idlewind in the slot left. Anderson under center, and he hands off to Brock. Just an off-tackle play to the left side, and George Rogers Clark is there immediately on the stop. No gain on the play. And Kamani John was right there on the tackle. So Brock's first carry of the night goes for no yards. And the Maroons not huddling, Mike, what they call one of those old kind of sugar huddles. The linemen all stay there.
Sugar huddle.
And they bring a tighter formation. Now Denmeyer comes in motion from right to the left. Brock takes the handoff this time. And through as Idlewind leads through. Off the left side again. He'll pick up about 3 on the play. Will bring up 3rd and 7. Now they shortened it down now. They're saying they only got 2 just across the 20 to the 21. So 3rd and 8. So 2 rushing plays, 2 yards, averaging 1 to play. I can do that math.
You're pretty good with math. If you have trouble, Pat's pretty good with math, and so is Jeremiah. You can ask them.
Anderson moves into the shotgun. He's got Brock off his right. Looks for Denmeyer on a quick slant, and he's going to be right at the line to gain. And I'm going to tell you, it's a first down. They're going to give him the 30-yard line, so a gain of 9, and that will be the first down of the night. And, Mike, that was just a quick stand-up, get your best player on a slant to the inside, and Anderson threw a strike.
He threw a strike, and Denmeyer made a heck of a catch. That ball had some juice on it from not very far away.
Cohen Finley has checked in at wide receiver. He's lined up here on the near side. Godby wide to the right. Denmeyer in the slot. Pistol formation with Brock in the backfield and handoff to Kaysen. And early on in this game, Mike, it's running between the tackles has been tough sledding.
It has, and Brock has had no chance to get anything started as there's been contact prior to the line of scrimmage.
Gain of 1 makes up 2nd and 9, so that's 3 carries for 3 yards, keeping that 1-yard average intact.
Got to work on that.
So shotgun formation this time. Idlewind is off to Zach's left. Brock now goes in motion out to the right. He looks that way but comes back to Idlewind on a little screen. He had blockers out in front. And Idlewind will take it up across midfield. That'll be a gain of 23.
You got to love that.
And a very well-designed play is they showed a little eye candy and put Brock in motion to the right. Zach looked that way and then gave it back to Idlewind here on the left side and had blockers out in front. And so Anderson 2 for 2 on the night. Now he's got Brock in the backfield by himself. This time gets a little more room as he runs off the right side. He's going to pick up close to 7. And we'll bring up 2nd and short. So a little bit different option here on 2nd down.
As you liked on the previous screen, that little to look up and see those 2 big linemen coming at you with Idlewind following them.
Well, and I'm sure Ethan's eyes got big too with those. And here we see the unbalanced movement And as they move, they're going to send off. Yeah, so they're going to get Cohen Finley for the old, I got my knee pads up too far, got shorts on.
That is considered a point of emphasis this year.
So
for
Toby
whatever
Wright
reason.
will check into the game. Zach will go back under center. All the power to the left side. Quick give to Brock right up the middle. And he lunges over the 40, maybe to the 39. Give him a gain of 1 on the play. Give him 2. Going to call it 3rd and 1, a long one. Is there such thing?
I hate to say it, I'll shut up, but the uniform rule is an emphasis this year, and the officiating crew earned their keep. They've already called one of those illegal uniform things.
So Gunnar Lovelace has checked in at the fullback. Brock still at tailback, Anderson under center, and Brock follows his lead blocker off the right side, and he powers his way into the secondary. We'll get across the 35 down to the 33, and that will be a gain of 6 on 3rd down and another 1st down. So we've seen a couple of passes, but mainly running. As my partner said before the game, he thought we would see a more powerful running attack, and so far we've seen it.
8 snaps, 6 of them on the ground.
Finley is checked back in with his new pants on, and Idlewild goes into the slot to the right. Denmeyer wide to the right now. Idlewild comes in motion, shows a little candy, and Brock right up the middle, untouched to the 5 and in to the end zone for a Citizens National Bank Somerset touchdown for the Maroons. And that was just a very well-designed play and a very well-blocked play, and Brock right up the middle from 33 yards out, the Maroons on the scoreboard first.
One cut, about 5 yards deep. He made a little juke cut and a safety bit grass, and he scored. Well, pretty impressive opening drive, huh?
It really was. So
Mounts to do the
very
honors.
Quick. Yep, Mounts is on to attempt the PAT. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up and through, and on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard, 7:26 remaining here in the first quarter. Pulaski County Maroons in the home opener lead 7-0.
Well, once again, if you're Pulaski County, you can't draw it up any better. The first couple of plays didn't get you net nothing, basically, on the ground, and it looked like, okay, maybe you have to go back to plan B, but then you pick up 9 on 3rd and long, and you get a 1st down, and you reset the chains, and mixed in there, you get a 30-plus yard pass play on a screen, and the rest of it you just earned on the ground. And if I'm GRC, I look up and say, this is not exactly what I thought I was going to see.
Well, in the 2 big plays in that drive, what you saw was Coach Burns putting men in motion and changing the eye level and direction of the linebackers, the secondary, and it causes things to happen instead of just being lined up and trying to run right at you. So some good things there. Brock found a hole, and like I said, he went untouched, 33, just right up the middle. So Ethan Idlewild will go back to the kickoff duties for the Maroons tonight and back deep for the Cardinals. And it's a checked up right at the 12-yard line, is picked up there by Camden McAlpin, and he gets tracked down over there before he can really get going by Winston Ford, making a nice special teams tackle. Give him 13 on the return.
Hell, once again,
not even that.
That kick was special, wasn't it? If I could make a golf ball back up like that.
Yeah, he had the 52 degree working on that.
Put some spinach on that. All right, defense, your turn.
So George Rogers Clark will come out in a 4-receiver set, and they've got that J.D. Maston, who we expected to be the starting quarterback, and that's probably, I guess that's why he's ran the ball so much. That was a designed quarterback run right up the middle, and he just follows his big line and his lead blocker, and he's going to pick up 6 on 1st down. Now they'll go to a 5-wide set. 3 here to the near side. 2 to the far side. Maston started to call the play. They looked to the sideline, got the audible, calls it in. Now it's just another quarterback draw up the middle, and Bryson Brown is there to meet him immediately. So George Rogers Clark thought that they saw something, and big Bryson Brown there from the right tackle spot got off his blocker and met JD before he even got started, a loss of 1.
What can Brown do for you?
Stop the running game.
And
that put that on an airplane.
Hey, Mike.
So Zayden Turner has checked in the backfield, and now the Cardinals show some eye candy, and Turner gets around the left side. Just give him a little sliver of space, and that's enough to get across the 35-yard line, give him a gain of 7. That will be George Rogers. They're going to spot it right at the 30-yard line. So 35-yard line. I'll get it figured out here in a minute. That will be the first down of the night for the Cardinals. So pistol formation, tight formation, as receivers both in tight. Little motion man coming to the near side. The ball is given to Atheus Morris, and he tries to jitterbug his way across the 35. They're going to get him to the 38, so gain of 3 on first down.
Gain of 3 on the play, second down 7.
Second and 7. So you see for the Cardinals, they get a lot of different people involved. They've got receivers running the ball, quarterbacks running the ball. I expect to see the running back catch the ball. Now, bad snap that goes over the right shoulder of Maston, but luckily for the Cardinals, Zayden Turner was there to pick it up, but the Maroons swarmed on him, and that's going to be a big loss all the way back inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. So that is a loss. Loss of 9 or 8 or 9.
Yeah, at least they had 3 on first down.
Right.
Yeah.
So 3rd and 17. Maston drops straight back to pass. He's looking across the middle of the field, and Denmeyer in coverage, and they're going to get him for either holding or pass interference. There was a lot of contact there. Harris was holding up the receiver. They're going to call a hold.
Well, that'll be, it's not an automatic first down.
Right, so that should be 10 yards, but it'll still remain 3rd down, so it should be 3rd and about 7, my recollection.
First penalty of the game against Pulaski County.
Yeah, so in that situation, then, you can argue that's not a bad penalty. You give up 10 yards. You don't give up a touchdown. You don't give up a big first down.
And they're still in 3rd and long.
Right. Still, we're 3rd and 8. And George Rogers Clark sends in a whole different slew of wide receivers. Maston and Turner still in the backfield. Maston will give it to Turner on a sweep to the left side. He's hitting the backfield, not wrapped up, squirts free, still fighting, and he will get across the 45 up to about the 47. So they'll give him 10 yards. So that's going to be another first down for the Cardinals.
If you're GRC, you turn 3rd and a whole bunch into 1st and 10 here.
So the Maroons had a couple of shots at him over there as Lovelace was there, Brown was there. They just were not able to get him wrapped up. So the same set that we've seen. Low snap this time the Maston has to go down and get. He looks for his receiver out here on the right side, and he is going to haul it in. And that is his leading receiver, Camden McAlpin. Uncovers there was Will Adams, and he was man for man in a very good ball, and that's going to be down all the way down to the 26-yard line. So a big gain on first down. The backup quarterback has moved in, and he'll send Maston out to receiver slot, and that is Sam Clements, who is checked in, and that's just a design quarterback draw. And again, Brown is there on the stop, as well as Braden Ping. No gain. And keep number 7 in your sights because he is going to line up in the backfield as your quarterback. He's going to line up at receiver. Now you have both of them, Maston and Clements, in the backfield. This one is handed off to Clements off the left side, and he tries to find that seam and doing a very good job out there just keeping the edge and not allowing Maston to get there is Idlewind, and he was able to turn him in.
Yeah, that's good defense right there. And sealed the edge and made the tackle.
Yeah, and Colton Kane came from his weak linebacker spot to clean it up. So 3rd and 9.
Looking at the bench.
George Rogers Clark will get a timeout here to talk about it. That will be our first Ron Shaw Realtor timeout of the ball game. On the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard, 2:39 remaining here in the first quarter as the Maroons lead this one 7-0. Yeah, we're not going anywhere. We're going to stay right here.
This is 4-down territory, but you're 3rd and 9. This first play is huge and make sure they don't get it into 4th and short, and you can limit the playbook. But I liked Pulaski did something on defense that when they broke huddle and looked at the line of scrimmage, the quarterback didn't like what he saw. And it's too early in the game to be talking about big plays. But from a momentum standpoint, this is a big play because Pulaski's offense has established the fact that they're going to move the football.
Yeah, and if George Rogers Clark is able to keep the ball here and keep doing, we're going to have a quarter where we've only had one possession by both teams.
One each.
So George Rogers Clark comes back out. 2 receivers here to the near side, 2 to the far and short side. Clemens and Maston still in the backfield, and this is just a pitch. It looked to be a quarterback option throw as Clemens took the toss, and he was looking to throw it. His man was covered, decided to keep it himself, and he's going to pick up 4 on the play before he's run out of bounds out there, and will be 4th and 5, and you don't see any kicker coming on the field. It looked like that Zayden Turner was looking to check back in, but then he goes back out.
Good defense. Pulaski didn't bite on that, what was going to be a halfback pass.
So Maston will take the snap. He will. They are going to throw it here, and it's wide open this time. And he finds his man down there, Camden McAlpin. So that was going to be a halfback toss pass by your backup quarterback.
You're right. What you said, but it's good for a first down.
Yeah, it goes into the red zone for the first time tonight. Brock blew right through the red zone the first time that they had the ball.
Yeah, the Rick Barker red zone may be busy tonight.
And so the Cardinals are set 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. This time handoff goes to Turner around the left side, looking to make a sweep, and he just makes a nice move.
Quick.
And will get into the end zone. Cohen Finley was there, and he gave him a little head and shoulder fake to the inside and then took it on around to the outside. And so at the 2:19 mark of the first quarter, the Cardinals answer as Zayden Turner takes it in from 10 yards out.
Well, an excellent drive by George Rogers Clark. Pulaski got him into a couple 3rd and longs, but couldn't get the turnover.
So the young man, Hayden Cockrell, he's 9 for 9 on the season on PATs, making 10 for 10, as that one is good. So at 2:19 of the very first quarter here, Pulaski County Maroons in the home opener are tied 7-7. Jeez, oh Pete,
I think I'm contagious. What do you think?
Well, just stumble over your own words. I never have been threatened as a wordsmith.
Once again, that drive was mostly run, but 2 critical passes in them to McAlpin, one of 30 yards, another one of 10 from 2 different quarterbacks. And we are tied at 7. And right now, the weather's perfect. Let's just keep it that way for about the next 2 hours and change.
Well, if they can keep up what they have done so far here in the first quarter. The clock has not stopped very much. Both teams have had one possession, and we may get out of here before.
You say possessions are huge right now.
So Winston Ford will stand back at his own 5. Denmeyer and Godby standing on the 20. Cockrell puts his foot to it, and it is another low line drive that Denmeyer lets go, and Ford picks up right up the middle. He's got a little bit of space, makes a man miss at the 30, steps through another tackle, and will get up to about the 38-yard line. So a 24-yard return on the play, and the Maroons will take over their second possession, threatening George Rogers Clark territory almost immediately.
Was that Ford on the return?
Yes. Yeah, Denmeyer had an opportunity at it, but he let it go to his deep man, and turned out to be a good option. And Ford will stay in, giving Brock a little bit of a break. Idlewind is in there, and just a quick pass out here. Nobody was guarding Finley, and Finley takes it across the 50 to 46-yard line, and that's going to be a gain of.
Just got wide open.
2 receivers split to the right up to about the 30, so a 15-yard return, but as Keith used to
that
say,
one's coming back.
Whoa, Nelly, hold your horses.
Oh, let me tell you about Bo Jackson. That one
holding
was the dreaded.
So second penalty of the night on the Maroons will move them back inside the red zone. So this will be their worst starting territory. And the nose of the football will be on the 20-yard line. So that's where we will start as Denmeyer checks in at one wide receiver this way. Finley split wide to the left. Here comes the unbalanced line shift. Anderson goes under center, hands it to Brock that way, and George Rogers Clark have seen that a time or two, and they shift it down and will stop Kaysen for a more gain. They'll give him 2 down. Bring up 2nd and 8. As Decker checks in the game. And also, I thought I saw another one, wide receiver check in. Godby stayed in. Finley still wide to the left. Idlewind's in the slot. Anderson looks that way. It's just a quick sweep pass to Kaysen, and he gets around the left end, breaks the tackle, takes it up close to the 30-yard line. Going to be just a little bit short, giving 6 on the quick sweep pass. Wasn't a toss. And we'll bring up 3rd and 1.
That's like we used to do in the backyard. Just kind of here.
Well, they outflanked George Rogers Clark's defense.
Exactly.
They had all, and just like this formation right here, you've got 3 receivers wide to the left. You've got a guard and a tackle on that side, guard, tackle, and end on this side. And Coach Burns,
Pulaski calls timeout.
Coach Burns did not like the way George Rogers Clark lined up to defend that, and so that will be our second Ron Shaw out of the night. Both ways, one of each. The name to know when you are buying or selling real estate is Ron Shaw with Weichert Realtors Ford Brothers. Ron has a long-standing history of community service and is a proud supporter of youth sports in the Lake Cumberland area. Ron truly cares for others and works hard for all of his clients, no matter the size or value of the property they are selling. You can contact Ron Shaw at 606-271-0774 or email him at ronshaw45@gmail.com. That's Ron Shaw at Weichert Realtors Ford Brothers.
Well, I noticed that Pat had on a Lindsey Wilson hat. You're a Lindsey Wilson supporter. Bob Boone's a Lindsey Wilson supporter.
You got a grandson
Collier
or
White
nephew.
pitched Wednesday over there.
For who? For Lindsey Wilson.
So I've got to get me a Lindsey Wilson hat.
Yeah, you need to jump on the bandwagon.
Let's see, I got one here, but it's not a Lindsey Wilson.
So the Maroons will come out in a power set, pistol. It's not really a power set. It's pistol formation. Brock there in the backfield.
Gotta love that.
And he lowers his shoulder and makes contact right at the line of scrimmage, forward up to about the 34-yard line, and that will be a first down for the Maroons. Gain of 5 on the carry for Brock.
You need 2 or 3. You lower the shoulder and you blow north and south, that time south, to get the yardage. You're not worried about a cut or anything else. It's get the yardage.
Idlewild and Denmeyer will come split here to the near side. Anderson goes under center. Kaysen just real short 3-yard alignment right behind Anderson, and it's just a quick dive to Brock right in the A gap, and doesn't get much but gets positive yards. We'll bring up 2nd and 8. Ball setting the 35 and the 36-yard line.
11 carries for 65 yards for Brock.
So Idlewild goes into the slot. Brock stays in the backfield with Anderson. Shotgun, looking, fakes it to him, looks for Godby, finds Boone across the 45 to about the 46. He gets up to the 45, gets to midfield to the 50-yard line, gain of 15 on 2nd down, and that will be another. See him there, and he was wide open behind the linebackers in front of the safeties.
Yep.
So first down set. Denmeyer down here, single coverage, and Anderson's looking that way, but tries to find Godby again, and if I'm not mistaken, that's the first incompletion of the night for Anderson.
You're on a roll.
2 for 2.
He's now 6 out of 7 for 90 yards and the aforementioned touchdown.
Teams in the state that have a defender that can play man-to-man coverage against Denmeyer, and that time they did. This time they have a safety over top, and Anderson hands it to Kaysen off the left side, and GRC's defense this time straight, and Kaysen just didn't have anywhere to roam that time, and he gets brought down for no gain. So 2 plays, well, they're going to give him 1, but 2 plays, no or little yardage. Clock winds down to 6 minutes here in the second quarter. Anderson empties the backfield, takes the snap. Big gap opens up the middle, and Anderson takes it. Nope, he hung on to it.
Nope, it came back. My bad.
Yeah, it got down. Anderson was able to pick it back up. So a very good read right there by Zach Anderson as he dropped back the pass, and GRC just the C's parted, and Zach went up the middle, gain of 11, and another first down for the Maroons.
That again comes into quarterback play that they don't get much credit for. That's recognition. Needed 11, got 12.
Lovelace checks in at fullback. Brock, second man through, hand off to him. He bounces off a tackler at about the 38, fights forward, keeps his leg driving, and he will get down to about the 36-yard line, give him a gain of 4.
So your run by Anderson picks up that much-needed first down.
Yes.
Even if you don't score in the rest of this, you've taken what was going to be a favorable clock for GRC, and you're running it down toward the end of the half. So a lot of good things can happen on this series.
Finley checks back in. Adams check in at a slot. Brock will stay in the backfield, and we are going to have another timeout, and this will be the second one of the evening. George Rogers Clark didn't like something that the Maroons were showing them on offense, and at the exact 5-minute mark here of the second quarter on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard, we're all tied up 14-14.
We're all tied up in a very close high school football game, and I kind of expected something like this. Again, let's just throw the words out there. Nobody's committed a turnover. There have been very few penalties. Each team has been able to run it when they needed to. George Rogers Clark has shown us the blizzard formation. The guy discussed this over the weekend. It's kind of like a blizzard at Dairy Queen. Really just vanilla ice cream with a whole bunch of...
The right side, Finley there at H-back. Anderson looking that way, looking for Kaysen Brock. Well covered. A good throw, but it was a little high. Case was not able to bring it in, so It will fall incomplete and will bring up 3rd and 6. The 36-yard line. Clock is stopped with 4:45 remaining before the half. Finley will check out. Well, the Finley brothers will check in and out as Broderick checks out and Cohen checks in. He split wide to the far side. You've got Denmeyer, Godby, and Idawine split here to the near side. Brock in the backfield, and again, just a quick screen out to Kaysen. He fights through a tackler at about the 35-yard line, drags a tackler down to about the 31-yard line, and that will bring up short yardage. And here comes the big mollies into the game. Expect to see the Wildcat formation with the heavy set. Kaysen Brock in the Wildcat formation, as they're content to let some time run off the clock here.
That's just good clock management right there, boys and girls.
Yeah, you do not want to give GRC the ball back.
And you've still got 2 timeouts and plenty of time.
And here is the big set, just mano-a-mano. Brock takes the snap, goes off that left side, and he just fights forward, follows his blockers, and he's going to pick up 4, which is more than enough, and that will be another first down for the Maroons. And we see the hockey-style line change as you're going to get 5 come out and 5 come on.
Well, again, I love to see it because it allows you to call 2 plays. 3rd down, all you're trying to do is get inside 4th and short. Then you've got this to fall back on, and somebody's going to have to find a way to stop it, or that's a huge weapon for Pulaski County.
Brock is going to get a break. His forward will check in. Lovelace checks in as the lead blocker in the pistol formation. Anderson turns around and hands it off to Ford. And they had a blitzing linebacker there from the outside that was there almost as Anderson handed it off to Ford. He gets tripped up down to about the 26-yard line. Give him a gain of 1.
Okay.
As the Maroons continue to shuttle players in, clock winds down to about 3 minutes. Shotgun formation this time. Anderson rides forward on the read option, keeps it himself right up the middle, gets across the 25 down to about the 23. Give him a gain of 4. It will bring up, give him 3. It'll be 3rd and 6. 4 down territory, no doubt. 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock.
GRC only has 1 timeout remaining.
The Maroons come in at I formation. Anderson goes under center. Idawine the lead back. Brock stays there. It's a play-action pass. He's looking. He's got a man wide open there. Idawine leaked out of the backfield, and he's going to take it all the way down to about the 1-yard line, Mike. So a gain of
23.
22. Oh, we got a flag. Hold your horses. Ineligible man downfield. So negate the big play as a great play call will be nullified. Idawine lined up as your fullback. He leaked out. Anderson rolled to the near side, found Ethan. He fought his way down to the 1, but ineligible man downfield will back it up 5 yards, and we'll do it again.
That's a 5-yard penalty of the huge variety.
It really is, because that puts us back at the 27-yard line, now 3rd and 11, and the play clock is yet to start. The game clock now gets wound. There will seem to be some confusion on the play. Anderson drops back. He's looking. He finds Idawine, who just gets to the seam. He lined up in the slot that time. George Rogers Clark was in his zone defense, and it didn't work. Idawine will take it down to about the 12-yard line, gain of 16. It will be another first down, and the Maroons are in business in the Rick Barker red zone with 2 minutes on the clock. 14-14 ball game.
That was a huge pickup.
It was, and a good job by Idawine just getting into a gap and turning around and making himself available, and Anderson put it right on him. Denmeyer goes in motion. Ball's on the ground. Bad snap, bad exchange, but Anderson is able to fall on it, which could have been disastrous right there. But Maroons will keep the ball, moved back to about the 15.
A fortuitous bounce, you think?
Yes. But now we're 2nd and 13. Still can get a first down inside the 2. Bunch formation here to the near side with Finley, Idlewine, and Denmeyer. Anderson drops straight back looking to pass. Now he gets some pressure, flushed out to his left side, bounces off a tackler, stays on his feet, comes back to this side, and just going to throw it away. So Anderson saves a huge loss and was able to get rid of it.
That was the outside linebacker on that side, and Anderson took the full shot.
He did.
And bounced away from it.
The one thing that I did not see from the receivers, your quarterback quarterback is in trouble. He's scrambling. You've got to break off your route and now come back and make yourself available, and I did not see that. And George Rogers Clark is going to call their 3rd and final timeout of the first half here, trying to keep Pulaski off the scoreboard.
Can I ask a dumb question?
There is no dumb questions in football.
Well, this one's going to qualify.
Okay.
Anderson threw an incomplete pass there.
Yes.
Why would the clock have been running?
It shouldn't have been running.
Okay.
Was it running?
Yeah.
We're under a minute. We're at 57.8. Yeah, the clock should not have been running. I didn't realize it was.
Only a few seconds among friends.
Okay, well,
I think they're keeping it on.
Stay tuned. After the game, we will have our Alton Blakely Family of Dealerships post-game show.
And at halftime, if we can, let's turn a light on it here so I can do
it's getting dark. We'll have our Somerset Community College Offensive Player of the Game. We will have our Promo Lawn Service Lineman of the Game, and we will have our UC Bank Defensive Player of the Game. That's after this one. We will try to get a live interview with Coach Burns.
Godby, Denmeyer, Idlewine.
Finley's on this side by himself. Brock's in the backfield. So 4 receivers set. Anderson was, hang on now. We're going to make some adjustments. Takes the snap. He looking left, still looking that way. He finds Godby out there, and Godby dives in.
Touchdown.
To the end zone. So welcome to the party, Boone Godby. 15-yard touchdown pass from Zach Anderson to Boone Godby. And just like that, the Maroons find themselves in front with under a minute remaining here in the half. So great catch and run right there by Boone, as he had to step in front of the defender to make the catch. Mounts on to attempt the PAT. Snap is down, kick is up right down the middle, and just like that, Maroons find themselves in the lead here on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard, 21-14, 55.5 remaining here in the half.
That might be as good a way as you can end a half that I can think of.
Well, half's not over. We still got to stop them.
Okay. I'll go back to this. If you don't give up score here,
right,
you ran the clock out,
right,
basically, and you overcame a couple.
Pulaski County, open Tuesday through Thursday, open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. The Rex, where we feed you good and treat you right. That is the Rex in Nancy, Kentucky.
While you were ordering dinner for us?
Yep.
There was a penalty on the extra point against George Rogers Clark.
Declined.
Just declined, correct. I just want to make you know for sure that has been taken care of.
Nice.
Pulaski will kick off. Coach Burns walked all the way out to the 20-yard line to make sure everything was kosher.
And after the Citizens National Bank touchdown by the Maroons, they will get set to kick it off as Idlewine will tee it up at about the 40-yard line. So need some defense here by the Maroons, because George Rogers Clark will get the ball to start the second half. This one is a low line drive that will get over the head of the George Rogers Clark receiver, and that will be a touchback. So exactly what you needed to have happen right there is do not give George Rogers Clark a short field, make them go 80 with no timeouts.
They crawl a couple guys up all the way to the 15-yard line thinking they're going to get a short kick and run it back, and you just tell your kicker, let's kick it over their head. Well done.
So George
Pulaski's
Rogers
going to cover 3.
Yep, 3 deep in the secondary. Maston rolls to his right. Nice pass and catch. Nope, he's going to say he's out of bounds. It looked like Maston put that right over Godby's reach, and Sam Clemens came down with it but had a foot on the line. Similar to the game last night between the Ravens and the Chiefs. If you stayed up and watched the end of that one, Isaiah Likely caught a ball in the back of the end zone, and it was ruled out of bounds
They're
by
still
a toenail.
arguing over it.
By a toenail.
Yeah, they're arguing over it now.
Lamar Jackson just a little bit high. Low snap again, but it's picked up and given to Turner as he tries to sweep around the right side. Will get himself out of bounds, which will stop the clock. He's going to pick up close to 6 on the carry, and will bring up 3rd down. Clock did stop. So 43 seconds here before halftime. Now he's saying run the clock. He ran out of bounds.
Yeah, I got no idea. I don't get paid to run clocks.
No, and George Rogers Clark seemed to be just as surprised, but the coaches aren't arguing. Maroons showing some pressure, and there was a takedown. Now there's going to be an interception as Maston throws it into coverage. Brock picks it up. He's got some room down the right side. He's across the 30, the 20, and will take it all the way back, but there are penalty flags on the field.
All over the field.
So right now we have a 60-yard interception for a touchdown, but it will be nullified.
I think that one's going to be killed.
Now, the good news is it's post-possession.
Let's think so.
So push the block in the back, so they are going to get the penalty on the return. But with 15 seconds and 2 timeouts, the Maroons get the ball back. That was just a bad pass by Maston.
Oh, goodness. I kept looking for a white shirt. There were 2 maroon jerseys back there where the ball came down about the 40-yard line, and there wasn't a white shirt around.
And this is a bigger penalty than I thought, Mike. They're going to take it and they're going to mark it off from about the 37-yard line, 38-yard line, and it's going to take it all the way back to midfield, just across midfield. Ball, the nose of the ball sits at the 48. So
Brock or Ottawa on the interception?
It was Brock.
That's what I thought.
Yep, back there playing just a deep safety, like you mentioned before the snap. The Maroons were in a 3 deep coverage, and they did what they're supposed to do, which was don't let anybody behind you. And why is the clock running now?
I had no idea.
Of possession, and I think we're having clock issues because they ran it down to 11-8 and stopped it.
You don't start it here because this is the first play of a possession.
And I really felt like that Coach Burns would just have his group come out here and take a knee, but Anderson is in the shotgun. He brings Ottawa in motion. He's looking at the pass, and he's going to take a shot out there. There's Godby. No, sorry, that's Denmeyer who got the single coverage, and Anderson threw it up to his senior receiver, trying to get him to let him make a play. Falls incomplete. Brings up 2nd down, 7 seconds.
Timeout, Pulaski County on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard.
That's the
21-14. That's the second Ron Shaw Realtor timeout by Pulaski County. They got one more in their pocket. I don't know if you come out and you try to go over the top again, because in high school you just tell your defensive back, tackle the guy.
Right.
Then the worst you're going to get is, they're going to be set up with no time basically at about their own 40-yard line. So we'll see.
What was shocking to me is you saw the Maroons in a 3-deep coverage that was not going to allow GRC to get over the top. And George Rogers Clark didn't employ that same defense. They were in their base defense, man coverage.
Yeah, I, as dumb as I am, I picked up on both of those. And let's see what's going to happen. We're approaching halftime, and I can't wait till halftime. What's up? Now we're pointing. Don't point at me like that.
Well, I got to keep you in line.
I'm just kidding. I know you got to keep me entertaining first half of football. Stick around for the halftime show and then second half action to follow, as we'll bring you some stats and numbers and all kinds of good stuff and get you ready for second half action. Pulaski is lined up in what they call their speed offense, so let's see what happens here.
Now GRC is in a 2-deep coverage now. Anderson takes a snap, rolls to his right. He's looking. He's got Denmeyer behind the secondary. There's a flag. That's a flag, yes.
Again, though.
Denmeyer was trying to make the catch. He just gets pushed out of bounds before the ball gets there. But, as you were getting ready to say, it's not a bad penalty.
It's the perfect penalty. You tell your defensive backs before the play. Worst case scenario, tackling.
It's not a spot foul in high school.
It's not a spot foul.
It's only a 15-yarder.
It's a 15-yarder, and you've got one snap left.
Right, and so the ball will not.
And a 50-yard field goal if you want to try it.
Right, and Mounts is a good kicker, but he does not have that kind of leg.
So that's just good coaching.
Yep.
Again, that's a rule in high school football that I know they're never going to change because they protect officials from the 50-yard penalty, that kind of stuff.
And so now George Rogers Clark got the hint.
They're going to play thirds.
They're going to play 4 deep.
That's quarters, yeah.
Right.
We'll go to dimes here in a minute if you all want to.
Well, they're only going to rush 3, so they're going to drop 8 in the coverage. Anderson fakes it to Brock. He drops back. Throws a little screen pass out here to Brock in the right flat. He's trying to weave his way through, but there's no blockers in front. But as it stands, it's going to be a 33 down to about the 18-yard line. So 15 on the pass and catch there to end the half in what was an entertaining first half between these two teams. And we're going to step away here for just a minute. Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard. The Pulaski County Maroons lead this one 21-14. When we come back, we'll give you a rundown of the scoring, and we will give you some individual stats right after this.
LakeCumberlandSports.com. Don't miss a touchdown, three-pointer, home run, or goal. Local sports with a local flavor. What?
No, I was...
No, you're turned the commercial. Drum makers are Caden Morley and Noah Mullins.
LakeCumberlandSports.com. Don't miss a touchdown, three-pointer, home run, or goal. Local sports with a local flavor. What? Streamed globally. And now, it's game time.
As parents, I feel like it's important that we teach our kids about financials, about budgeting, and about savings. We offer an e-student checking account and a GPA savings account. I immediately opened up both for my daughter. She has a debit card, which I am able to turn on and off with our mobile app because I'm also on the account. She has become more mindful of her spending, which is something that we want to teach her, is to be a mindful spender and to save as much as she can.
It's a great time to get your new F-150 at Alton Blakely Ford. The Ford F-150 redefines working remotely. There's a desk inside the cab, a tailgate work surface out back, and available Pro Power onboard to plug in what you need. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. And right now, get a no-charge leather package upgrade on every purchase of an F-150 XLT at Alton Blakely Ford.
Out here in the real world, we've spent too much time waiting around and wondering if we'll ever get to be what we really want to be. Now it's time to move forward. And with a little help from Somerset Community College, you can finish that degree or start a whole new life as an IT VIP, a healthcare hero, and more. In less time and for less money than you think. The time is now. The place is here. Never underestimate you.
Here at Citizens National Bank, we still take pride in treating each and every customer like we would want to be treated. Our employees are here to help you navigate the confusing lending process and determine which type of home loan best suits you. Schedule an appointment today. We have highly qualified loan officers ready to serve you.
Yes, that's how. And welcome back to Pulaski County High School as you are looking on live halftime festivities as the band taking the field, getting ready to perform their halftime production. We are a 7-point ball game. The Maroons lead this one 21-14. The defenses have yet to stop the offense, with the exception of the interception there by Kason Brock. So both teams are putting on an offensive performance, as Mike will give you some numbers here in a minute to tell you that. But as we get set to give you some halftime stats and rundown, I'd like to thank all of our sponsors, Toyota Somerset, for bringing the game to us tonight. Ford Brothers Auctioneers and Realtors, Buffalo Wings and Rings. And this is your video game of the week. Well, next week we'll be down at the reservation. I'm going to. Where Belfry will come calling and taking on Southwestern next week. White's Cabinet, CV Hansford, Intrust Healthcare. Sponsors are Kickoffs, Rick Barker, Red Zone, Randall D. Turpin. On the CPA scoreboard, Citizens National Bank, Ron Shaw Realtor, Somerset Community College, United Cumberland Bank, Promo Lawn Service, and Alton Blakely will bring you our post-game show. First half recap. We got underway quickly as the Maroons took the opening kickoff, drove it all the way down the field, and struck first at the 7:26 mark of the first quarter. Kason Brock would take it in from 33 yards out. Bryson Mounts would add the PAT, and the Maroons would jump out to a 7-0 lead. 5 minutes later, GRC would take a long drive of their own at the 2:19 mark of the first quarter. Zayden Turner, leading running back for the Cardinals, would take it in from 10 yards out, and the Hayden Cockrell PAT would tie it up at 7-7. The Maroons would take the opening drive of the second quarter very quickly. 48 seconds, Harris Denmeyer would take a 21-yard pass reception from Zach Anderson into the end zone, and the Maroons would jump back out on the lead 14-7. Very quickly, though, less than 2 minutes later, George Rogers Clark would have an answer of their own as J.D. Maston would toss it to Sam Clemens, and he would take it in 31 yards out to tie the score at 14-14. That's where we would remain. It slowed down in the second quarter a little bit, but the Maroons were finally able to get into the end zone with 55 seconds remaining on the clock before halftime. Anderson would find Boone Godby, and he would dive in from about the 3-yard line, and after the Mounts PAT, the Maroons would extend their lead back out to 7, reclaim the lead 21-14. And that's where we find ourselves here at halftime after the interception by Kason Brock. Not able to do it much more with it, but a good stop, a good answer to finish it up. Do you want me to give the team totals here, Mike?
You can if you want to.
Okay, and then you get some individual.
Yep.
So for George Rogers Clark here in the first half, they had 8 first downs. They ran the ball 14 times for 109 yards. A combination of Maston and Clements went 4 for 6 for 70 yards through the air. It's a total offense of 20 plays for 179 yards and 2 touchdowns. They had 2 returns for 12. They did not punt the ball in the first half. They had 2 penalties for 20 yards, and there was 1 interception, leads to 1 turnover. For the Maroons, they had 14 first downs. They ran the ball 22 times for 104 yards. That's a 5-yard difference if you're keeping stats at home. Anderson was 10 for 14 through the air for 147 yards. So the Maroons have doubled up the Cardinals in the passing attack. 36 plays for 251 total yards of offense and 3 touchdowns. They did not punt the ball in the first half either. They did have 3 returns for 43 yards. 4 penalties, though, in total of 40 yards. Anderson put the ball on the ground once on a center quarterback exchange, but was able to get on top of it, so had no turnovers in the first half in what was mainly a clean first half for the Maroons.
Yeah, you and I talked about this in our Whitest Keys to the Game before the game. Keys to the game should be before the game, I think. But anyway, he said, if you look at it, neither team committed a costly turnover. Let's put it that way. You had the late interception that really didn't result in points. You had penalties, but none that really cost anybody a touchdown or points on the board. And reasonably well played. George Rogers Clark got off 2 or 3 what I call gash plays.
Right.
They had a couple of those plus 20-yard, plus 25-yard plays, and that will happen against a team like George Rogers Clark. There's just some athletes out there, boys and girls. I thought Pulaski County, this is just my humble opinion of the first half, they came out, they took the opening kick, 3 plays or the third snap they're getting ready to take. They've only gained a couple yards. It doesn't look like the running game's going to work, and all of a sudden, Coach Burns stuck with his knitting, and the running game is the difference here in the first half. And again, Anderson, I thought, had an excellent first half as a quarterback. He made some decisions with the football that didn't involve throwing it, if that makes any sense to anybody out there. He made some really good decisions with the football. Glad to see Pulaski find Boone Godby in this offense, because he's going to be an important part of this offense. And again, Brock had a good half. Idlewild is still, doing what he does.
Right.
And Denmeyer still, I think, has a chance to get over the top against this bunch at some point in time.
And he had the opportunity there late in the first half. He did get behind the defender. George Rogers Clark takes a pass interference penalty, but the opportunity is there, as you said. So,
Go ahead, Up.
Scores from the other games tonight. Southwestern kicked off a little later than us, and at the end of the first quarter, they're knotted up in a scoreless defensive struggle. A little different than what you're seeing here tonight. And then I do not have a Somerset score to give you. I thought that I did, but I don't. So Southwestern 0-0. Here on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard, the Maroons lead this one 21-15, and going to.
Are we keeping everything here? Is that what I understand?